and welcome to the next installment of our Think and Grow Rich Mastermind Study Program. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 2, the chapter on desire. And on page 15, Napoleon Hill writes that desire is the starting point of all achievement, the first step towards riches. He goes on to pick up on the story of Edwin Barnes and his quest to become a business partner of Thomas Edison. And Napoleon Hill describes how when Barnes got off the train in New Jersey, he looked like a tramp, but his mind and his thoughts were those of a king. He writes that as he made his way down from the railroad tracks to Thomas A. Edison's office, his mind was at work. He saw himself standing in Edison's presence. He heard himself asking Mr. Edison for an opportunity to carry out the one consuming obsession of his life, that burning desire to become the business associate of the great inventor. Here's the next key point. Barnes' desire, it was not a hope. It was not a wish. It was a keen, pulsating desire which transcended everything else, and it was definite. If we look at the Latin roots of the word desire, it can be translated, or it's found, the roots are desider or desidus. And either one mean either of the cosmos or of heaven. So what that means is, Napoleon Hill tells us, it's not a hope, it's not a wish, it's way beyond that. It's a want that we have, but it's a want that originates from heaven or from the cosmos, or it's as big as all of heaven, or it's a want that's bigger than the entire cosmos. It's huge. There is a huge difference between wishing and hoping for something and actually having a desire for it. So as you start to think about what it is that you want in your life, you need to get very clear on what you really desire in life. So you take that want and you magnify it and you turn it into something huge, something as big as heaven itself. I want you to think logically about it for a second. I'm going to talk about a different concept, but logically right now, we're talking about creating something that we're going to go after, that we're going to work towards, that we're going to have to exchange hours of our day to achieve. And from a practical standpoint, how likely are we to invest a lot of time and a lot of energy into something that we're kind of iffy about? Versus when we have this burning desire to have something, we will do anything and everything we need to for as long as it takes to achieve that. But if we're not clear on what that desire is, and we don't turn it into a desire, we will give up as soon as the going gets tough. And I want you to think about things that maybe you've given up on in your life. Because I know I have myself. I think we all have at some point or another. And when we give up on something, I think it's pretty fair to say that we were pretty lukewarm about it. It wasn't a burning desire. And I want you to think also about times maybe when you did achieve something big, something you did really stick with, and you overcame all sorts of odds and obstacles, chances are very good that you had this burning desire at the heart of the matter. So that's a logical look at it. I want to talk to you now about something more on an emotional level, because our emotions really are what drive everything that we do. We are emotional creatures, and everything we do out of emotion. The fact that you're in sales, you rely on people making emotional decisions. And the better you are at recognizing that and hitting their emotional hot buttons, the more successful you will be in sales. People make decisions based on emotion, and then they justify those decisions based on logic or reason. So if we look back to some of the Latin roots of the word desire, there are some synonyms or similar words to desire back in Latin that were, or the word was hungry or hunger. Now let me ask you, how do you know when you're hungry? I mean, think about it for a second. You haven't eaten for a while. You're hungry. You know that you're hungry. How do you know that you're hungry? Well, typically we feel it. Our stomach rumbles, or we have this feeling inside of our inside our stomach. Maybe even our brain is telling us, it's sending off signals that, man, something really sounds really good to eat. But the point is that we feel this feeling. We know that we're hungry because we feel it deep inside. Desire is a very similar thing. Desire, it's hard to explain when we truly desire something. We can't logically convince ourselves that we want something or we desire something. We know that it's a true desire when it's deep inside of us. It's this strong, overpowering feeling that we get deep inside. And we're going to talk about how we can actually create this feeling down the road if we don't have it already. We're going to talk a lot about intuition down the road and a couple of other intellectual faculties. So as you start to put together what it is that you want, then you need to start to understand how to turn that want into this desire, and you know it's that desire when you can't stop thinking about it and you feel it deep inside of you. Trust that feeling. Understand that that feeling is there telling you, yes, this really is the thing that I desire. And it's that feeling, that emotion, that's going to cause you or allow you to move forward and to overcome the obstacles that I'm telling you are going to appear in front of you. There's no doubt about it. It's not going to always be an easy road. It's going to be a bumpy road from time to time. But we need that emotional strength to push us through that. So, continue to read through Chapter 2, and I look forward to seeing you soon and talking to you more about these specific points. Thanks.